This has serious implications for the New York Knicks as they start their 2 week journey without the captain, Jalen Brunson, and get that L against the Los Angeles Clippers. What's up, guys? It's your boy, Dariel. And we have to start off the day, and we also have to start off the video with this tweet by Shams. The New York Knicks star Jalen Brunson is expected to miss at least 2 weeks with a right ankle sprain. After the very disappointing loss against the Los Angeles Lakers, all Knicks fans were in a collective gasp as we saw Jalen Brunson with one of the nastiest ankle rolls, not that I've ever seen, but it was pretty gnarly. It was pretty intense. As soon as I saw the ankle roll, I had a feeling that it was going to be a couple weeks. And before I break down the game, I kind of want to talk about Jalen Brunson and his injury. And if we're going to look specifically into that tweet that Shams tweeted earlier today, he is expected to miss at least 2 weeks. At least. That is the key word in the tweet. Because nowadays, when Shams reports something, whenever a player gets injured, there's always that the team plans to reevaluate the player in 3 to 6 weeks. That is only an evaluation of where that player is in his recovery journey. Now, Shams here, he didn't say anything about reevaluating. He just says that Jalen Brunson is expected to miss at least 2 weeks. But whenever those reports and whenever Shams tweet those things out, I'm always in the thought process of he says 2 weeks, but it could be probably 3 to 4. And with that nasty ankle roll, I think it's going to be a little bit longer than 2 weeks. So now it raises the question with Jalen Brunson being out, who's going to step up to the plate? Who's going to be that alpha, like Alan Hahn was saying all night tonight during the telecast against the Clippers? Who's going to be the person to step into that number one option spot? Everybody thinks, and I think everybody is in a collective agreement, thinking that it's going to be Cat. But me personally, I think this is a amazing opportunity for Mikal Bridges to really find his way within the offense. Because if we're being quite frank, this whole season he just hasn't really found it, especially after the All-Star break. After the All-Star break, it's been a good game here, it's been a good game there. Last Sunday against the Miami Heat, I think he had 5 points. And on Wednesday against the Golden State Warriors, I think he had 6 points. But in tonight's game, Mikal did do a better job of being aggressive. Mikal Bridges finished the game with 22 points, 8 of 12 from the field. He only took one three-point shot, which he missed. He was 6 of 6 from the free throw line. He grabbed 4 rebounds. He grabbed 5 assists in the 42 minutes that he played. Now, the Wednesday game, I talked about Mikal Bridges and the aggressiveness that I'm seeing from him. And in the box score, I think he took a total of like 7 shots. And if a player is taking 7 shots in total, that is not a good indication of how aggressive the player was. I can't really tell if the player was being aggressive with 7 shots. But in tonight's game, he took 13 shots, 8 of 12 from the field, and 0 of 1 from three-point line. So the aggressiveness, you can tell that Mikal made it a point to be a little bit more aggressive with Jalen Brunson being out. Now, Mikal Bridges did do a good job of implementing himself and being more aggressive in the offense. Me, personally, I was keeping my eye on Deuce. The starting lineup, it was the same, except Deuce took over for Jalen Brunson. Deuce, tonight, it was a little bit of a disappointment. He only had 7 points, 2 of 13 from the floor, 2 of 9 from three-point line, 1 of 2 from the free throw line, grabbing 2 rebounds with six assists with 1 steal in the 34 minutes that he played. The one thing that jumps out to me is Deuce taking 22 shots, 2 of 13 from the floor and 2 of 9 from three-point line. I like him being aggressive, but when I compare it to Mikal Bridges should be the one taking 22 shots. And if anything, Deuce should be the one taking around 13 shots. Maybe there's something mentally wrong. Not wrong, but maybe there's something that mentally Mikal Bridges, it's not clicking with him. Maybe just the offensive prowess that Cat has been showing all throughout the season with the help of OG and Anunoby. Like maybe Mikal Bridges, I'm being honest with you guys, maybe he just doesn't see it. Maybe he doesn't see it that he needs to be aggressive. Like, there's no way Deuce McBride should be taking 22 shots and Mikal Bridges is taking 13. It should be the other way around. But in Jalen Brunson's absence, I was really keeping my eye on Deuce because these last few post-game videos, I've talked about the next step in Deuce's career, like he's taking that next leap where he's the confidence is there. You're seeing him put the ball on the floor. You're seeing him drive past guys. You're seeing him dunk on people. Like, I didn't really expect this type of dudes based off what I saw last year. And the whole season, he's been proving me wrong. And then now with Jalen Brunson being out, I just thought Deuce was going to be ready for the opportunity. Now it's only one game, and we have, including tonight's loss against the Clippers, we have 20 games in total. So it's only one game. We still have 19 games remaining. So Deuce could really, next thing you know, he could really start stepping it up, and the aggressiveness could really go to a whole nother level. But I was a little disappointed in Deuce McBride's effort tonight. The person that everybody thought was going to step into Jalen Brunson's shoes, tonight he ended the game with 23 points, 8 of 21 from the field, 3 of 7 from three-point line, 4 of 4 from the free throw line, 10 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals in the 34 minutes that he played. The one thing that is really eye-opening with Cat is he just doesn't look like he has the same explosion. It doesn't look like he has the same being able to get off the floor and being fluid and mobile. And in the chat that we had earlier today, Matt, Chris, myself, and we had Okechi, who's on the Lakers Digest. He was our special guest. One of the things that we talked about was Cat and the injuries that he's playing through. He's playing through some knee injury. He's playing through the sprained thumb, the bone chip in his finger. And the conversation was kind of around Tibbs. And if you could put the blame on Tibbs with the amount of minutes that he's putting on his players, that I don't really want to focus in on tonight, on tonight's postgame video. I'm just saying that Cat he's not looking like his old self, specifically from the first half of the season. Which brings me to the next point. Something else that we talked about in the live that is very interesting is the idea of, since Cat is battling through these injuries and Jalen Brunson is going to be out for a minimum of 2 weeks, does Coach Tibbs get a little froggy and rest Cat? Right now, with the 3rd seed, with a record of 40-22, and we're 6-4 in our last 10. The Milwaukee Bucks are 36-25, 3 games behind us. In the last 10, they're 8-2. The Indiana Pacers are 35-26, and then the last 10, they're 6-4. So within the live earlier tonight, we talked about what if we sit down Cat, and yeah, of course, we don't want to lose, but right now, as it's currently seeded, we're the 3rd seed, and if the playoffs started today, we're going up against the Detroit Pistons. But if we fall to that 4th seed and we go against the Indiana Pacers, they've been really trying to find their groove the entire season. They haven't really been able to find the same identity that they had last year. Halliburton is looking like he's having an up and down season. He's having a good stretch, and the next thing you know, he's having a couple bad games. So, me personally, I don't like it when teams and organizations, they start trying to like play to the seedings. If the player is available to play, if the player wants to play and he puts on that jersey, then you should play. But it was a very interesting topic that we talked about, and it really got me to think differently. But tonight's effort against the Clippers, of course, I would have liked to get the W, and I hate to say that you could look at some moral victories, but a moral victory that you have in this game is Mikal Bridges. The Jalen Brunson injury, it puts pressure on everybody. Josh Hart had a quote prior to the game that they're going to have to keep the team afloat. And Coach Tibbs, during the pregame press conference, just talking about the next man up mentality. That's everything. That's something that every player, every NBA head coach talks about whenever one of their key players goes down with an injury, is their team has to have a next guy mentality. And in this situation, it's cliche, but it fits. Jalen Brunson is our best player, our leader, our captain, and he's going to be out for the next few weeks. So we got to have, other than Cat, we got to have other people stepping up and really trying to take over Jalen Brunson's productivity as a collective. And in my opinion, I'm still keeping my eye on Deuce. I really want Deuce to really take this opportunity and seize it. But I do understand why people are saying that Mikal Bridges needs to be the one to step up. And this kind of puts Mikal Bridges in a very interesting spot of like, yo, you have to do this. Like, there's no more waiting around. There's no more excuses. Now you could be looked at as a second option to Cat, So if you're the second option, then you're gonna have the possession of the ball a lot more to be aggressive, to create plays for yourself or others. So the next maybe 5 to 10 games, anywhere between 10 to 12 games. That's around the range of I think how many games Jalen Brunson is going to miss. It's going to be very interesting to see how Mikal Bridges takes up this opportunity. Speaking of the next 10 to 12 games, looking at the schedule, and obviously we lost tonight against the Clippers. Including the loss against the Clippers tonight, it was 20 games. But after tonight on Monday, we're going to be in Sacramento, and then we're going to be in Portland, and then we're going to be in Golden State, and then we come back home on March 17th for Miami. So the next 4 games, it's Sacramento, Portland, Golden State, Miami, and then it's San Antonio, Charlotte, Washington, Dallas, the Clippers again, Milwaukee, Portland again, Philadelphia 76ers, Cleveland, Atlanta, Phoenix, Boston, Detroit, Cleveland, Brooklyn. So there's a good mix there. Brooklyn on April 13th is the last game of the season, and I'm pretty sure Jalen Brunson should be back by then. Jalen Brunson might be back within the last like 2 or 3 games of the season. But the point of me bringing up the schedule is the next remaining 19 games. Honestly, there's not a really lot of games where we can consider it an automatic W, even without Jalen Brunson. Portland, they're very young and they're still learning the NBA league, but they know how to play. And Chauncey Billups, it looks like he's been able to find something with that team where he gets them to play hard. And you can see them growing. You can see them taking steps into becoming the team that they want to be. So Portland's going to be tough. San Antonio Spurs, even without Wemby, is still tough. Charlotte, it should be a W, but again, they're a professional basketball team, so you can never take them for granted. The Washington Wizards, I believe, we see them twice within this schedule, or it's only once. Yeah, I think it's only once. I made a mistake. Sorry, guys. But Charlotte and Washington, back-to-back games. Dallas is plagued with injuries. We see Portland again. Philadelphia 76ers, even though they're an abomination to the NBA this year, they still have NBA players. Tyrese Maxey is someone that you can't sleep on. Detroit, Brooklyn might be another W, but again, you could just never look past your opponent. So it's going to be very interesting to see what the next 10 to 15 games look like without Jalen Brunson. Am I going to come back on here on a post-game video? Am I going to be talking about how disappointed I am in Mikal Bridges and Deuce McBride? Or am I going to be coming back from 10 to 15 games from now and I'm going to be ecstatic because Mikal Bridges, it seems like he's turned the corner. It seems like he finally gets it. And also Deuce McBride, it seemed like he was able to go to another level during the time period of when we needed him to while Jalen Brunson was out. So that's it for tonight's video, guys. I want to say thank you so much for checking it out. Leave it in the comments. Let me know what you guys thought about the Knicks' effort tonight against the Clippers. Back-to-back losses in LA. Let me know what you guys think about the next 10 to 15 games without Jalen Brunson. Are you guys super worried? Are you guys a little bit more hopeful than I am? But leave it in the comments. You guys know the drill. You guys know the vibes. Queens or nowhere. Queens forever. New York or nowhere. New York forever. Queens get the money. And I'm out. Peace.